Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the next video. Today we're looking at the winners finals of us versus ASU in April finals. So I think we're starting out second pick again. So if you saw my last videos of the grand finals, we're doing these out of order. So I'm going from the final game we played to the first game we played. And yeah, we start out second pick. I believe Amaterasu picked, so they wanted first pick. They banned Dojrio, and this was actually the most toxic ban for us. We did a lot of preparations in draft, and we already knew that this ban was trouble for our team. But we decided to go Comfy Zorik if they do this ban. And this is probably actually the best comp we had out of the 4 games we played ASU on Saturday. I actually forget what they picked here on round 2 and 3. Oh yeah, they picked the Urshifu, which is the next best Pokemon, and they pick Wiggly, which was actually really interesting. Because a lot of teams would pick probably Tree there, and they did adjust their draft later, so maybe they weren't too happy with this Wiggly pick because they ended up picking Snorlax in the grand finals games, if you saw my video on that yesterday. But we kind of expected them to pick Wiggly. We just didn't expect them to pick it this early. We actually thought they'd pick Buzzwole or something instead of Wiggly there. So we picked up the Buzzwole since they didn't. Buzzwole is just a really good answer into Pokemon like Zoroark or Shifu, Dodrio. So we didn't want to let them get it. And Clefable, we expected the Clefable. However, the one pick we did not expect was this Pikachu. We were not expecting the Pikachu at all. So overall, we got like a draft we were really happy with. We actually really like our draft. This is probably one of the only games that we probably had a slightly better comp than them. All 3 other games were a nightmare. Like they had way better drafts than us. So yeah, let's hop into the games. Actually didn't get to see Nudo's Pikachu build, so that's interesting. He went Slick Spoon, Energy Amp, and Focus Band. Alright. So if you watch the grand finals games, they did this wild thing where the Wiggly went to invade our Shifu, but because we have Zoroark this game, they're not doing that, and they're just playing the lane normally. Honestly, so Kyrus and I played bot lane a lot last year, but this year Kyrus was a jungler player, so because of that, he didn't play the new attackers. Like Mew and Espeon came out recently, and he hasn't had much experience there. So because of that, we didn't have experience in the Wiggly lane on our damage numbers, what we could do. So we kind of inted this lane the first game, especially the first game. We definitely should not have lost as hard as we did. Yes, it's a losing lane. But if you saw there on the top of Dino at 945, the Wiggly Cute Charm actually canceled the Mew E-Ball, so we would have gotten the farm. But because we weren't experienced with Wiggly Cute Charm, the Cute Charm canceled the E-Ball, and we ended up losing lane off it because that farm is really important to get against Espeon, where you want to prevent 4 as long as possible in lane. However, Overlord comes down and helps us here because he saw we were winning lane, but because of that, we're gonna have to sack top lane, and we can't even kill the Espeon here, so it's a bit rough. Espeon is very strong at level 4. Yifan's very good at Espeon. So here, top lane losing pretty hard. The Urshifu went to our jungle too. Curious ends up inting again in lane. Unfortunate. I think I remember telling Curious he should have gone to cover jungle. But it happens. He's not used to the Wiggly lane. And Wiggly sleeps me. There's nothing I could do to stop those scores. So now bot lane's losing really hard. Top lane was losing because their jungler ganked top. Ours went bot. So this game state is very unfortunate. We're hard losing the early game right now. They actually get the big V2, so just everything that could be going wrong is going wrong here. However, we do have a pretty good comp. So as long as we don't get too far behind, we should be able to hold in it. Overlord tries to see if he can do anything here, but gets caught by Pikachu, has to burn full heal. And I think they actually get his focus band too. So that was a really bad trade. Pikachu is really toxic for the speedsters. And it's actually Pikachu top if you didn't notice, so very unorthodox by ASU. There's 3 tops, so Overlord ends up just having to give all the top Bs. We get all the bot Bs though, so that actually turned out well for us. Rin is actually 8, so his XP is not too bad. However, they have a level 9 Espeon, so even though Rin's ahead of his lane, the rest of us are all behind in experience. So they have Espeon here, and because they have Espeon, it's really hard to do anything at this bot Reggie. Overlord comes down to maybe try to find some kills here, maybe get a secure with his Unite move. And I actually managed to secure it through all the burst. We burst it with Mew, Solar Beam, Zoric Unite, and my Wood Hammer at the same time. So one of us was gonna get it if we could burst it before the Espeon could secure it. And that's been a running theme in these games, as you will see. We use all our abilities to burst it at like a high amount of HP that the Espeon doesn't expect. So we can secure it over Espeon, which is going to be really important against Espeon. Overlord barely doesn't get his combo on the Espeon. The Urshifu unites, so we just back up. No Urshifu unite is actually huge at this stage because they could have used it to get some comeback XP, some kills. Rin, I don't know what happened up here. Does he live? I don't think he lives. Yeah, so a little bit of inting was done in the top lane. I didn't see what happened there. And he dies. Luckily, I think we make it to cover. Yeah, we do stop the Pikachu score, me and Kyrios. However, Overlord is now 2v2 in this bot lane, and they use Wiggly Unite, but he gets the kill. So he's absolutely destroying them here. No Bear Unite is huge at this stage, because if they had Bear Unite, he would probably die. Overlord kills the bear and the Espeon, so Overlord's absolutely popping off here. I am able to score 30 top because of his 2v3 bot. So now we're in a really good spot now because of Overlord's heroics. Now he's going to steal our jungle. So he's just starving them of experience. Yes, they still have Audinos, but taking the jungle is huge, especially for us, since we have no farm on our side of the map anyways. And now we have this top Reggie pushing in, which should be able to help us get this bot Reggie. Because they're going to have at least one top here to stop the Reggie from going in. Otherwise, we can just go score. So bot Reggie should be pretty free for us to get. From what I remember, they just had 4 here. So they're just giving the bot Reggie. Unfortunately, it was a Regice, which is the worst of the 3 Reggies. The one you want the most is the Reggie Steal. But Regice is not that bad with our team. Not very good, but it's not the worst. Here they 4-man try to crash top. I still have Tree Unite, however, and we do a nice job baiting out all their abilities. They're kind of fucked here. Rin does a good combo here. Alright, yeah, from what I remember, this was actually the one game I think we were winning the entire game. So this was the one game we were really ahead. All 3 other games we faced ASU, we were behind at Rayquaza. But I actually remembered what happened this game. We had a really sloppy Ray fight. That's why it ended up being close. And I think Overlord had to pull out like a 2v4 with me there helping him. So it was rough at Rayquaza fight. But here ASU is just going to turtle up and farm. There's not much we can do except try to steal their farm. The bees are going to spawn at 315 on their side. So we can try to steal those when they spawn. The Audinos are a bit too risky to go for because they're all the way on their side, so we can't really steal those. But here, like, we're ahead in points, but we need to still try to steal as much experience from their side of the map as possible to not fall behind in experience. Here they crash bot with 5 people. And we figured out they were going to do this, and we scored 90 top. However, Overlord gets a bit greedy thinking he could hold this. He didn't have to die. He could have just backed up because we were scoring the same amount of points they were topside. So if he didn't die, they would have had a lot less experience because he was like level 14. He gave a huge shutdown. So that was a really bad death and mistake by Overlord. That shouldn't have happened. Here the Pikachu unites really late. So that's actually really good for us because Pikachu unite at 245. He's not going to get that back until like 150, so it's going to be late for Rayquaza spawn. And because he uses that also, we can go for this Reggie. Honestly, the Pikachu probably should have saved Unite so he can fight this Reggie, because it ended up being a Reggie steal. We sent 4 people down here while I just covered top. And I believe I might start rotating down, we'll see. They do get the Registeel, but we decide to turn and kill them because they were inting so hard to get this Registeel. And so if we kill them, they're not gonna have their unites and stuff. So Bear uses unite, and that's it. I believe we use Mew unite. And did we use Comfy unite? Okay, Comfy unite is a bit risky to use, so because of that, we start trying to funnel them into the Rayquaza. Rolling it burns his flash and a focus span, but does not use unite move. So they're just hoping we don't rip it and playing for the fight after. They do have the unite lead still, so we're down. Oh no, we do have Comfy unite. We didn't use it, so it's 4v4 in unites. We're still in a good spot. Overlord scored bot. Now we're 200 points ahead. And now they're funneling in 5-man in Rayquaza. I'm doing my best not to int here to their 5-man. I believe, yeah, I get unite move off. I heal to full health because I went potion this game. Overlord has all of them collapsing on him. He barely dies, really unfortunate. Elo tries to save him. Elo probably should have just taken the L and went on Kyrios. But so if you notice, the reason this Rayquaza fight, they were all on Overlord, and the reason this Rayquaza fight got close is Overlord dying is not that bad, but me and Rin actually tried to go on this Espeon while they were all on Overlord, and Rin missed his Buzzwole Unite. You can see him dash there on the minimap, and he missed his Buzzwole Unite. So if he hit Buzzwole Unite, the Espeon would have died. Espeon had no passive, no Unite move, no flash. So the Buzzwole just had to get close to the Espeon, and Espeon probably like 99% would have died. But because Espeon doesn't die, this is really sus for us now. They're just gonna get the Rayquaza. We decide to just score, so Rin and I score back because we have such a lead. Look at our point lead, and let them get the Rayquaza and try to break some shields. Kyrios does a really great job trying to steal here, and we get vision of where they're going. So we see there's 3 shields bot, and because we see that, I decide to jump bot to try to stop these scores here. And Overlord breaks both Pikachu and Espeon shield. I get the Wiggly shield. So now they only have 2 shields left, the Clefable and Urshifu. But they only need 2 scores. So if they're able to get 50 on the Clefable, 50 on the Urshifu, they're going to win. However, they're running out of time. They don't have enough time. I just need to be able to hold the pad against these 3 people here, which I'm doing well. It was a bit sus. I did get a bit low, but I managed to stop all 3 at 1v3. And that's going to close out the first game. The Ray fight was a bit sloppy, but overall it's probably the best game that we played mechanically and macro wise throughout the game. Just a couple small ints here that made the game a bit harder than it should have been. But we were really happy with our comp this game, how it went. And that's why in grand finals we had the option to pick which side we wanted first, and we picked the same side because this game went so well. We thought the draft might go similar. However, they made some adjustments, so if you watch grand finals, you'll see that they had better drafts than us. Overlord had 11 KOs this game with 6 assists. So he definitely carried the early and mid game really hard with the Zoroark. You can see there the damage numbers. And let's go to the next game's draft. Overlord got player of the game. Sorry, this is my cat. Hi, May. Okay. There's actually quite a break between the first and second game. Still not there yet. Okay. Alright, I forget what we were doing in this time that made it so delayed. Because this is usually player side's fault when it starts this late. So now we alternate sides, and you can see ASU also banned Slowbro just like we did. They banned Dodrio when they were first picked, but we decided to pick Comfy. And we first picked Zoroark because it is one of Trainer's best Pokemon. So here we assumed they were going to pick Urshifu Espeon, which I believe they did. Yep, Urshifu Espeon. Now we wanted to take the Clefable away from them in this draft, because last draft we had to give them Clefable since we had Comfy. We really like Comfy, but since we banned Comfy, now we can take the Clefable, which will enable the Zoroark to do better. They decide to go with the Wiggly and Blissey. Blissey was actually surprising to see. We did not expect that. We thought they were gonna go Hoopa. But presumably it's because they want to combo it with the blue Urshifu. Blue Urshifu plus Bliss Unite is a really good combo. We go Tree Mew here. Honestly, after this game, I realized that we probably should have gone Snorlax. If we went Snorlax, I actually don't mind our draft. It's pretty decent. But Tree Mew is just such a hard losing lane into Wiggly. Snorlax is a really good early game Pokemon. So if we had Snorlax, we could match the Wiggly better, and our draft would have been a lot better because Snorlax Mew can actually beat like Espeon lane pretty easily. So if we made that small adjustment, I would have liked our draft a lot better. But we picked Tree, so now we have a losing bot lane, which really affects the early game. Amaterasu is a team that really likes to draft for early and snowball, win the early game into hard winning the whole game. So here Overlord starts jungle again. Rin goes Buzzwole top. You can see they really like playing these ranged mons in top lane, which I don't think I've seen any other region do that much besides Japan last year. I haven't watched Japan much this year, so I'm not sure what they've been doing top lane, but I doubt they've been playing ranged mons this year. Last year they liked their A9 top lane, actually. I think Japan did. But yeah, I'm curious to see if any teams at Worlds this year will pull out the ranged mons top. We personally still believe in like these bruisers top lane that like Overlord plays, like Lucario, Zoroark, Dodrio, etc., Buzzwole. But the lane went pretty okay top here so far. I believe something disastrous went wrong at Beeslow from what I remember. But so far both lanes are okay. We don't int bottom lane this time, so they don't score that much. So we're now chilling. This is a much better early first minute than the last game. Actually top's looking like it's going really well. The blue Urshifu is kind of popping off here, but so is the Zoroark. So we just trade 1 for 2, which is good for us, and I believe we got most of the Bs. However, it does become a 2v2. Let's see. Overlord was not able to catch Trainer. Overlord's actually in trouble now. Ooh, that was really bad. Overlord missed his feint attack, so the blue Urshifu almost killed him. And now because of that, Urshifu gets a 30. So a bit of an overextension. We were chilling. Overlord just needed to play it safe. But yeah, bot lane, we're not inting, but you can see they have way better secure than us. So I'm still a tree stump at level 4. Rolling it's not that far ahead of me, but you can see Yeetfan is level 7. So it's a bit hard. Wiggly goes to the fight. We send our Mew to the fight. We get the Big B, which is really good for us. However, you can see here I inted bot lane. This was really bad. So I predicted that Espeon would not go for this greedy score. However, it's Yeetfan, so I should have known he'd go for this greedy score. And I let him score 30, which was bad. I only scored 10 in return. So yes, it does give me my evolution, but should never let the Espeon score 30 there. We were actually fine in bot. They had scored no points before that. So that was a really bad macro play by me. So because of that, now bot lane is actually winning really hard again, just like last game. Because last game they were winning pretty hard bot lane before the Reggie, because we inted it. This game we were actually doing fine, but then I inted giving Yeetfan a 30 score, which put us really behind now. Top lane, looks like Overlord's just farming his jungle instead of going to Bs, so they get all the Bs in top lane. And the bear is probably going to be level 9. The Espeon is level 8. So this bot Reggie's looking pretty doomed to try to steal. We should probably just sack it and go top. However, the bear stays top, which Rin did not expect. We thought they'd play for the bottom one. And I remember this whole sequence. So they surprise Rin, kill him instantly while Elo was resetting, or he died. And Overlord wasn't covering top either. So they get these scores in top. Now what Overlord should have done, and what I told him to do, was to come bot and rip immediately. As soon as they showed top, I told him to do that. But obviously it's a tournament game, high stress. You never know which calls to listen to. We don't really have like one main set shot caller yet. So Overlord doesn't come bot immediately, which makes this game really hard. So here, after Overlord's mistake, I told Elo to go top, believing they could hold, but I didn't know how strong they were. So I should have gone top as well on tree, and we turtle up, we sack the bottom pad because we really don't want them to score on the top pad. We should have just sacked the bottom pad, and made sure we hold this Reggie and turtle up and farm for the rest of the game. Because if we do that, we'll be ahead in experience. But because I didn't do that, and because Overlord didn't go bot immediately, they pushed in the top Reggie, and now we're 200 points behind at 4 minutes. So that's really bad for us. We have a nice attempt at trying to steal here. However, they use 2 unites. They use 2 unites to make sure they secure that, which is unfortunate. And we are able to cover the bottom lane, so technically it's not that bad. If you think about it, like, we could sack the bottom lane or the top pad. But the problem was top pad was at 100 and bot pad was already at 50 because I let the Espeon score in. So because of that, it would have been better to hold on to the top pad instead of bot pad because they can score less points there. But honestly, it's still comebackable right now as long as we hold on to our bottom pad before the second Reggie. So we're getting 3 Audinos in top side every minute. So as long as we don't let them score any more points, we can still win this game. They're just farming all the farm on their side of the map, which isn't much. They only have jungle and this bot lane farm they can contest, but they have Espeon, so they're gonna get most of this bottom lane farm. Here we're just playing for picks, whatever picks we can get for comeback XP. You can see I don't even have Unite yet. Overlord and Elo also use Unite, so they don't have it. The Wiggly and Espeon are still missing Unite though, and we know this. However, they're gonna get it pretty soon. So Espeon just got Unite already because they've been securing farm. Rin finds a nice little catch on the Sylveon here. They go Unite for Unite, which is honestly not bad for us. Sylveon Unite is a lot longer of a cooldown than Buzzwole, so Buzzwole can maybe get Unite back to use again while Sylveon can't. Here we see 2 top on Rin, so we decide to try to push bot. However, they blow all 3 of their Unites. So they're gonna kill Overlord here, and they're gonna kill Elo and Pad. Not much we can do. The Wiggly's just chasing me, so I can't get away. And now this is really bad because yes, they used all their Unites, but they got our bottom pad, and we're dead for the Reggie, so we're probably not gonna get Reggie either. So here we just need to turtle up and farm. We're down over 200 points, so you really cannot let them score any more points here, or we're just absolutely fucked. We just give the bot Reggie. It's not that much experience. The good thing about the Reggies though is they give you a buff for a minute. So because of that, we want to kind of avoid fighting 5v5 fights because they'll probably win it with the Reggie buff. Rin tries to catch the Sylveon again. This time Sylveon has no Unite. So you can see here what I was talking about. He did that same exact play a minute ago, but because Sylveon gets Unite later, now he can do the same play. Sylveon can't match his Unite. And that's a huge kill. Now we can crash top, get our scores in, and this was the play we needed to get comeback points and XP in the game. We get a bunch of kills here. We score top, and now we went from over 200 points behind to now over 100 points behind. So it's not that bad. It's only 2 scores after 2 minutes to score. So as long as we get Rayquaza, we can still win this game. We get the Reggie top, and now we could theoretically push bottom with this Reggie, but if you look at our side, we have so much farm on the map that we decide to just farm all our farm. And I believe actually, because we just turtle up and farm here the whole game and we farm efficiently, we end up being higher experience than Amaterasu by 2 minutes. So if you look at the levels already, they have 13 Espeon, 13 Urshifu, 12 Sylveon. Support levels don't matter that much, but they're both 11. Both their supports are 11. We have 12 Mew, but we have level 14 Zoroark. And Rin is going to hit level 14 too. So we're going to have 2 14s. They only have 1 13, 1 12, 1 14. So we're in a really good spot. Kyros is going to hit level 13 here too. He's going to trickle it. So we're actually like a full level up on almost every carry except Urshifu, which is insane. Like, that shows how valuable just making sure you farm your Audinos, because they respawn every minute. And they know we had the EXP lead here, and we didn't show in Rayquaza, so the fight's a bit risky for them. They wanted to just try to full flip, catch us off guard as if we weren't here. But if you see here, I've watched this in slow-mo already. So we're all here, and they don't realize that some of us are here because we're in the Mew Unite. So Overlord's invisible in the Mew Unite. They could have seen him for a brief moment, but obviously when there's 5 people on the map like this, it's hard to notice. So I don't think they knew we were all here. We have the Clefable, if you notice, is got Fly. Elo rolled Fly on his Unite move, and he's in the air right now. So we're getting ready to burst with Elo and with everyone. I have Tree Unite to burst too. We have Zoric Unite, and we have Mew boosted auto Unite move and E-Ball or Beam. I forget which is he's on. And Rin's over here trying to zone at least like one of them because he's not going to be very useful in the burst. So Espeon is a really good secure. So again, just like the first Reggie last game, we had to burst through the Espeon. So we knew we had to go kind of early. So here, like, it's not an Espeon range. The Espeon's not going to go. So we all blow our moves right here. We burst it when the Rayquaza is at like 35% HP. I use Tree Unite. Clefable uses Unite on it. Zoric uses Unite, and the Mew beams, and we burst it before Yutfan can even react. I want you guys to watch the Espeon here in the bottom left. So Espeon is a really good secure, right? He doesn't even shoot. Like, by the time he shot, the Rayquaza was dead. So that's how fast we burst it all at the same time. It was a very weird flip by them, but once you realize that we were actually ahead in experience, it's a bit more understandable why they would maybe want to avoid the fight. They thought they could catch us off guard, and they thought we weren't in the pit, so they could maybe just win off that. It's like a 50-50 play. It's not a play we would ever make, but I understand the logic behind it. And because they flipped it like that, we get all our scores off. Here they're chasing Elo. Elo's probably going to die. But now we have over 100 points ahead. So it's still losable for us. Definitely still losable, but you can see here that I have shield still. I have shield in the top. If you look at the minimap, I'm tree, and I'm just hiding. I'm hiding, making sure they don't spot me. They do spot Rin. Rin tried to do the same thing as me, but Rin ends up just having to back up and make sure he doesn't die. I don't think he dies here, but they probably get his ray shield. I forget what exactly happens, but you can see here I've successfully infiltrated their base. They have no clue I'm here, and if I score this 100, it's over. I actually only have a sliver on my ray shield is the thing. They almost broke it, but I still have a tiny sliver left. As soon as they show bot, I go score. I get this 100. Now it's over because we can let them score on the tier 2 pad and we will still win. Before is dangerous because they can get an overcap and win, but with my 100 score, we're so far in the lead that we can let them score on this tier 2 pad and they simply don't have enough time. But we decided we were strong enough where we can just defend the tier 2, and we kill them all, and that is how we 2-0'd Amaterasu in winners finals. I think we all rushed to try to score here. I think Overlord gets his score, yeah, because they all died on the push. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The next video I'll be doing is us versus TTV. That's probably a really anticipated one because it wasn't streamed, which is weird. I asked them if they wanted to stream it, but they have their own rules on which matches they want to broadcast. Us versus TTV was very hype though. Probably I'd say those games were a lot of fun. We got really good drafts that we liked, so I'm excited to go over them with you guys. Rin gets MVP here, and let's look at the damage numbers. Both Rin and Overlord do more damage than the rest of the carries on the enemy team. Noodle only did 28k. Both defenders, me and Rolling, did low damage numbers. The Blissey actually did more damage than the Wiggly. That's funny. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.